Steve from Frame Stoppers Media, and today I'm going to show you how to actually build your own custom LUT in DaVinci Resolve. So there's a few little steps that we have to go through, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how it's done so that you can achieve your own custom LUTs inside DaVinci Resolve and get the best out of your editing color software. So without any further ado, let's dive on in. So the first thing we need to do here is we need to open our DaVinci Resolve program, and I'm using 18.6, and we're going to create a new project where we're going to call Untitled Project because we don't really need to design nothing fancy right now. So the first thing we need to do is get over into our media page, and then from our media settings, we're going to go ahead and we're going to find some footage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you step by step exactly how we do it, and I'm going to show you a very simple basic example first. We're going to look for, I have some footage here from the DJI Avata, which is pretty basic. This is my second day flight, and we have some footage here where we just took off in the backyard, and as you can see, we're going to drop that footage down into our media pool, and we're going to drop that down here, and now we're going to hop over to our timeline, and we're going to drag this down in the timeline so that we have something to work with. So as you can see here, the red on my son's shirt is pretty bright red. As you can see, it's like super red. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this footage to be, customized in a way where we could actually save it as a LUT and use this in further videos and further tutorials. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So now that we have our footage here, the next thing we need to do is go over to our coloring tab. And I like to use the parade for my scope so that I could see like where my greens, reds, and blues are. And you know that 0 is your deepest blacks and 1023 is your highest, brightest areas in your image. So I like to keep my areas in different parts. I like to keep my areas like just above, in between here for my highs, and I like to keep my lows in between here for, for good contrast and stuff like that. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to head over to our primary color wheels. And the first thing I'm going to adjust is I know with DJI footage, like the basic footage is very, very contrasty, very, very, saturated with colors. So what I like to do is I'll just pull down the saturation just a bit so the red is not so bright busting out. The next thing, well, you can notice I pull down all the greens and everything. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to lift our shadows a little bit, and we're going to raise our offset so that we introduce more highlights to it. The next thing I like to do here is I'm going to pull up the greens because we have a lot of greenery, so I'm going to pull up those greens a little bit. You see me pulling up those greens, making those greens a little brighter? So now we have more bright green of the grass and stuff like that, and we also have made adjustments to our red color. So now let's play the footage, and that's looking good so far. Now I do want to introduce some more red to the bricks and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I will pull the reds up just a little bit. We're not gonna go crazy on the reds. So when you see I'm pulling up the reds just a little bit, and you see the bricks got a little more red. Let's play that back and see what that looks like. So that's me flying the Avata, flying it around. Stop, boom. What I like to do with my footage, I like to get my footage as close as possible to what I naturally would see in my eyes. So once I get it to that range where it looks natural to the eye, then that's where I like to keep the footage at. So as you can see now, I'm flying around. Let me stop. Let me go back to the edit page where I could scrub around much faster and get to look. So you see his red shirt doesn't look like that bright red like how it was before. Like it was super, super bright red. So in this case, I want to add, the image does look a little bit soft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of detail. So I'm going to head back over to the color page here. And you have this slider here with a mid-tone and detail. So when you slide this up, this makes your image sharper or softer. So I like to make my image just a little bit sharper. Let's head back over to our edit page where I could scrub around in this timeline. Everything seems a bit more sharp. So the whole thing about coloring, there is no wrong, there is no right to it. You color it to what suits you. So if you notice here that my blacks, I kind of lost all of my black detail here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce some contrast and we're gonna pull those blacks back out. So now what I'll do is I will introduce a little more highlights because we haven't introduced any highlights yet. And let me go back and scrub around on the timeline so that we could see what this looks like. And as you can see, it definitely looks a lot more natural to what you would see in the eye. Now, I like to shoot in either D-Log or S-Log. I like to color grade with more dynamic range, but this is a basic profile that comes with the camera, straight out the camera, so this is not raw. It's just what you get. So you could still tweak it, and now I'm going to show you guys how to actually turn this into a LUT that you could use in future reference. So the next thing we need to do here is now, once you've got your color grade set up, I might give this a little color boost, just to boost color just a little bit more. There we go. All right, so now color boost is on. We boosted a little color in there, and that's it, done. So now that you have it set to where you want it and you like this color, and you say, all right, I want to save this so in future I have, I have it to use. And I'm going to pull that color boost down because it's too high. I think 7 would be enough. I went way too heavy on the color boost. There we go. It was a gloomy day that day, so nothing's going to be to the brightest color as it would be. All right, so now that we have it set to where we want it, so now that we have our color set, the next thing we need to do is we need to turn this into a LUT. So you see we have our color tab here, and we know that we color graded and set this up. We're going to right click on this, and we're going to click generate LUT, and we're going to generate a 33-point cube. And once we generate that 33-point cube, you see I have my folder already preset, which is my folder here where I save, if you can see right here, Frame Stoppers LUT Pack. So all of my custom LUTs automatically get saved to this LUT pack. So once I build a LUT, I'm just going to name this DJI Avata Simple Grade, right? And we click save, boom. And now when I click over into my Frame Stoppers media here, so I'm going to go, let's see, I think this is it. See, DJI Avata Simple Grade. This is a LUT I created. It's actually adding on top. But if we drop in another file, let's drop in another file. So we'll pull a total different file. Let's pull this one in here. And we're going to drop this one onto the timeline as well. So once we drop this one on the timeline, all right, let's go over it. So as you can see, but right here, we can see the colors, it's dark and stuff like that. Let's head over to our color page, and this is our file that we just dropped in. And now I'm going to look for my LUT pack. And this is it right here. So we hit play. We've applied the grade. As you can see, the color pages right there. As you can see with it not applied, and then you can see with it applied. How the image looks more natural. So there you have it. That's how you create your own custom LUTs for DaVinci Resolve. I hope this information was useful. Don't forget to share, follow, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.